Hello there, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 3 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting with the music mogul's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, taking the stand.
Why would we need a 50-foot bed?
I mean, TD Jakes ain't small. I'm just saying. If it's a group thing, it's a group thing. You gotta think about, you got Rick Ross, you got Calloway.
Honey, this is no longer just some messy celebrity scandal. The Diddy trial, it has officially erupted into an all-out media firestorm. What began with Cassie, yes, Cassie, bravely stepping forward to share her truth, has now spiraled into something way beyond anyone's wildest imagination. We're not talking TMZ fluff. This has crossed over into dark, dangerous, jaw-dropping territory. Real courtroom leaked tapes, and honey, the names getting dropped, they'll make you spit out your coffee. At first, people thought it was just about Diddy's twisted relationship with Cassie, bizarre parties, creepy control over her life, but baby, this story took a hard left turn. Because now, it's not just allegations, it's audio. And not just regular phone chats. We're talking graphic, explicit recordings. The kind that don't just expose secrets, they detonate them. Names like Will Smith, Meek Mill, and even Diddy Jakes are being mentioned. And the worst part? These tapes are being played in open court. It all started with a hotel video. Silent, shaky, grainy. People thought that was the bombshell. Nope. Behind those courtroom doors, a different kind of horror was unleashed. Real audio, no phones, no cameras, just dead silence. One insider described the moment as bone-chilling. The content was so disturbing, the entire courtroom froze. No one moved, no one breathed.
Testified she was held against her will twice. At one point alleging she was forced from her apartment and into a car to take Combs and one of his bodyguards to the home of rapper Kid Cudi to, quote, kill him. Cudi was dating his ex, Cassie Ventura, at the time. Clark also claimed Combs threatened to kill Ventura if she didn't convince Kid Cudi not to tell police that Combs was allegedly involved with a break-in at his house. Clark also telling the jury that a large man repeatedly administered lie detector tests to her on suspicion that she stole jewelry loaned to Combs. She testified that this man said if she flunked the test, they're going to throw you in the east.
And just when everyone thought it couldn't get more intense, boom, a new witness list dropped. But these weren't your usual fame-hungry randos. These were people who knew Diddy. Former artists, ex-employees, party insiders, real ones who saw what went down behind the velvet ropes. One of them, Dawn Richards. Yes, from Diddy Kane, she took the stand, and when she walked out, she looked like she'd been hit by a truck. Sources say she straight up confirmed Cassie's story. Dawn allegedly witnessed Diddy physically assaulting Cassie over dinner being late. And guess what he did next? Told Dawn and another bandmate to keep their mouths shut.
2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Yes, she was attacked by Sean and did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Often. The government then shows Don Richard a picture of Diddy Dirty Money. When were you a member of this group? 2009 to 2011. The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs Cassie, where was it? In Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. What did he do? He was saying, "Where the F is my food?" He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. What did she do? She was in a fetal position. Then what? Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and the body and then dragged her up to the first floor. Glass was breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. Did you intervene? No. Did you call the police? No. The next day, what happened? He said it had been passionate and she was okay, and that it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing. How did you understand that? Death. Diddy's team then yells objection. Then the judge calls a sidebar and ends her testimony for the day. But Dawn Richard will be back on Monday to give the rest of her full testimony against Diddy. But right before they brought Dawn Richard in, they actually had a Homeland Security agent testify against Diddy about when they came and arrested him to take him to jail. So let's go ahead and get into that. The government asked, when Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go? The Park Hyatt Hotel, room 2115, where he was staying. They show a picture to the jury of his hotel suite, and what did you do? We assigned a letter to each room and began to search. What was your role? I took photographs of items and then signed them on the 6051 form. What was found in the closet? They then show a picture to the jury, and it was plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and Astroglide.
But what really hit like a punch to the gut? Diddy's own daughters. They walked out of that courtroom looking haunted, not a word, not a glance at the cameras, pale, hollow. It was right after the audio played, and the weight of it all hit them like a truck. People watching said it made everything 10 times more real. This wasn't gossip anymore. This was devastation.
You guys really sit through that whole case and kept your spirits high. I really like that for y'all. That looks great. Keep your spirits up, y'all.
Then the court dropped a bombshell that shook the internet to its core. Will Smith's name was mentioned. On the actual court audio, this wasn't rumor, this was real. In the courtroom, part of the case. And the internet, it exploded. People started rewatching old interviews, decoding awkward exchanges between Will and Diddy. Then comedian Luenell's jokes came back to haunt. She'd once hinted that Will and Diddy were more than just friends. And out of nowhere, Jaguar Wright swooped in with more claim.
What you're saying reaches the ears of Will Smith, and he needs to get these. If there's smoke, there's fire. Let me grab a fan.
Number one, as far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he missing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Liles?
I would always say it is interesting when you speak on, Jaden Smith and you see the hug with with
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, and then for Bashir, you see him all of a sudden fighting over Sydney Starr with Eddie Winslow. It does question what happens in the entertainment industry that makes someone go into just being very close with men on men contact. It's interesting, I'll say the least.
You want to know the thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray? I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're gonna keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another.
At first, nobody really paid attention to those old comments. But now, old people are listening because Will Smith's own assistant, his brother Bill, stepped forward and baby, he did not hold back. He said he walked in on Will Smith and actor Dwayne Martin in a compromising situation. Intimate. Private. The kind of story that would get buried, if not for this trial blowing the lid off everything. Whether folks believed him or not didn't matter. The internet latched onto it like wildfire. It was trending in minutes.
Woman that everybody wanted. And Will needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had.
I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her. You can buy her 80 cars, you can get her 80 private jets. If she's itching for that baby leg, she want that baby leg. You can beat a person so much that they fall into submission.
Who needs enemies when they got friends like you?
Oh, I could tell you what goes on the inside. Everybody else is just speculation.
Somebody told me I made my pictures in the book. You know, your pictures in the book and your name is in the book. So it's like you're doing some real elegant pimp. I'm blowing you up. I love that. I'm blowing you up.
This is what Jada makes the new people do. And I ain't gonna say new, they probably been there after myself, right? They will make you check into a rehab. And they'll pay for the rehab. Even though you're not on drugs, they're gonna pay for the rehab. And you have to go if you want to work with them. And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to...
And get this, Bill claimed he's never been sued over these accusations. Why? Because the Smiths know he's telling the truth. Who the tea is boiling over, dog.
You kept it straight on the Smiths. Like, you was just like, I seen Jamie with women.
Yeah.
I seen Jamie with black. And I was like, okay, so this ain't got nothing to do with him trying to gain clout off of every celebrity, trying to ruin his relationship with all the celebrities you've done business with. This is just this particular friend that I've known damn near my whole life, and his wife, you feel like is sabotaging everything that y'all have together, and it's causing you to question him and his friendship towards you.
Without question. So here's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Okay.
You know, it's no secret in Hollywood that Jada hates me because I have a strong relationship with Will and I do my own thing.
Why don't she hate Dwayne?
I can't answer that question.
Why don't she hate Dwayne Martin?
Well, she's gonna love anybody that treats her like she's a god. Right? When you're a narcissist and a sociopath like she is, and I'll get into that, you want to be worshipped. And she got the bag. So these people will worship her, thinking that that Jada's gonna do something for them. But a narcissist and a sociopath is only looking to do things for themselves.
It was shocked because I was like, Jada is talking about suing. And she's speaking on this, and to my surprise, Will hasn't said anything. And so they did come out and say a rep for Will totally denies the allegations. I was like, Will does not respond to anything.
Nope.
He's never. This is all Jada, because as soon as that rep statement came out, she goes to sit on the Breakfast Club to reiterate the same shit that I feel she gave to TMZ.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'll say this to you as well.
Okay.
She also said in that interview that they were doing business. Will was not helping me out, right?
Yeah.
And it's a very good interview on this channel called Popcorn Planet.
Okay.
Where a big celebrity lawyer breaks down Jada's interview on the Breakfast Club. And say,
shout out to you said Popcorn
Planet.
Okay, shout out to Popcorn Planet. We gotta check that out.
They cannot even sue based on what she did at the Breakfast Club. Had Jada not went to the Breakfast Club, I would have been sued already. And just for the record, I haven't been sued yet. Have you been sued by Jada?
Nobody's contacted me at all.
Okay, so, and let me answer your other question. The reason Will responded, the reason why Jada responded, because they know it's true. Will's never responded. And they responded in less than 9 hours.
They did. That was a fast response.
That was because he know what I saw in that dressing room. He know other things that I saw.
You said it was murder.
Yes. Dwayne Martin's a serial killer because Will's not the only one. And we're going to get into that later on too. So basically Jada's interview did two things. It makes me now, me and her at war. I'm gonna put Will to the side. Will is to the side. Me and Jada, I will say this because I know you're watching. I know Karen Tense is watching.
Who's Karen Tense?
That is her PR person for years.
Okay.
Right? I know they're watching. Jada, you're a bald head liar and you're a drug addict. Right?
Oh God.
You did not sue me. You told the world that you were gonna sue me. As of yet, and you said you're gonna do it swiftly. It's been over 2 weeks. So Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me. If you don't sue me, this is what's gonna happen. All the sex parties, right? And the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? all the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names. Because now what we got to do is we got to force her.
And then Lunel popped up again. Yup, she doubled down too, saying what everyone had only dared whisper, that Will and Dwayne were a lot closer than people realized.
The rumors of Will Smith being gay and having gay relations with, who was it with?
Diddy.
I know, right? Hold on. So apparently Will's assistant, which I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, the whole thing sounds fishy because the same guy tried to interview on my platform and I said no, but he claims he saw Will Smith with Dwayne Martin.
Oh yeah.
I know. I know nothing about this. This is crazy.
I mean, well, you should interview Tisha
Campbell, who was married to Dwayne Smith. That'd be an interesting interview.
Wouldn't it?
It would. You know her?
I do.
All right, let's make some phone calls.
I don't know. But I mean, and then there's, what would be said and what wouldn't be said. But, I heard more rumors about Dwayne than Will.
Oh, you heard rumors about Dwayne? Oh. I heard some rumors about Will and Jada.
And suddenly, every picture of Will and Diddy hanging out, every clip, every red carpet smile, it all started looking different. Will tried to shut it down fast. He told the press, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I didn't do any of that stupid stuff." But it backfired. The receipts came flooding in. Photos, videos, parties, private jets, club nights, and people started feeling played, betrayed, like they'd been fed lies for years. Then, as if the courtroom tea wasn't scalding enough, Meek Mill's name came blaring through the speakers. He was in the audio, and that set the internet ablaze. Unlike Will, who tried to stay cool, Meek lost it. His Twitter feed blew up like fireworks on New Year's Eve. Rant after rant, post after post, but instead of saving face, it just made people even more suspicious.
That he's dressing like, he dressing the same, he dressing like Diddy? Hugged up with Diddy? I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bro. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mill up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something, get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
Fans have been joking for years about Meek's cozy ties to Diddy, giving him nicknames, posting memes, but now people were going back, digging through old footage, hunting for clues. Suddenly, those jokes felt like they'd been right on the money all along. One viral clip shows Meek at a party, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Another? Diddy throws Meek a birthday bash, shirtless dudes everywhere. Poolside, Diddy yelling daddy, on camera.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
That clip turned into an instant meme, and when Meek tried to clap back, saying, "I'm not fruity, stop playing with me," well, the internet pulled out the receipts fast, and it only got messier. But here's the twist no one saw coming. No one outside that courtroom has heard the audio. The leaks, no photos, just whispers, and honey, that silence, it's making everything feel louder. Some insiders claim the audio includes the sound of someone being hurt, while Diddy laughs in the background. Yeah, you read that right. That's the level of disturbing we're dealing with. Some believe the tapes are being kept secret to protect victims. Others, they think these tapes are just too explosive. We're talking about names with money, power, reach. And if these tapes drop, it won't just be careers on the line. It'll be empires crumbling. Deals could fall apart, lawsuits would flood in, and new names might just start spilling out. People who haven't even been mentioned yet. Yeah, and one of those names bubbling to the surface, T.D. Jakes. Yep, his name keeps getting dragged into the mess, and according to former Diddy bodyguard Gene Deal, there's reason for it.
About these rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes.
I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. Drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he'd have to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he'd have to save some souls. I know he got a contract with...
If what we're hearing is true, Diddy wasn't just shady, he was orchestrating a whole web of deceit, pain, and control that ran deep.
A lot. Eva, she testified that Sean Combs at one point threatened to Kid Cudi after finding out that he began dating Cassie Ventura. But she talked about 3 distinct episodes as prosecutors today started to home in on one of the elements of the alleged racketeering conspiracy, and that's kidnapping. Capricorn Clark said in 2004 in New York, she was forced to take a lie detector test for 5 days straight on suspicion of stealing jewelry. In 2008, she said Sean Combs charged at her and kept shoving her with his hand. She demonstrated for the jury until pushing her all the way out of his house in Miami Beach when she said that she hates it here and forced her out of the house. And then in 2011 in Los Angeles is when she says she was forced at gunpoint into a car to go to Kid Cudi's house because Sean Combs was very upset.
Aaron, Clark painted a picture of what it was like to work for Combs, saying she even had to take a lie detector test. Why did she have to do that?
This goes back to July 4th weekend in the Hamptons. Sean Combs was hosting one of his now famous white parties, and he was able to wear 3 very high-end pieces of jewelry loaned to him by Jacob the jeweler. And after the party, Capricorn Clark was supposed to take possession of the jewelry and bring it on a private plane to Miami Beach, where Combs was headed. And on her way to the airport, she realized the bag wasn't there, and she said that she suspected it was an inside job. But apparently Combs and one of his bodyguards, a guy by the name of Uncle Paulie, that's how he was known, ended up taking her to what would be the headquarters of Bad Boy Entertainment. At the time, it was on 40th Street and Broadway. This was going to move uptown into the upper 50s, but the building wasn't finished, and she recalled for the jury being taken to a dilapidated space. There was only a folding table and chairs, and she remembered a huge guy, 5 times her size, chain smoking, and hooking her up to a lie detector machine every day for 5 days straight, and threatening that if she failed the test.
At this point, let's be real, it's not even just about Diddy and Cassie anymore. That story blew up weeks ago. Now we're peeling back the curtain on something way bigger. We're talking about a world most people didn't even know existed. A secret layer of Hollywood hidden behind red carpets, designer gowns, and flashy award shows. A layer that's rotten beneath the surface. And the only reason this is all unraveling now? Because the heat got too hot. The feds are closing in, and the victims finally feel safe enough to speak. They've been carrying this pain in silence for years. And now that Diddy's kingdom is cracking, the floodgates are opening.
That, she just loved Sean Combs, and how could any of this be true? She said, look, he blackballed me in the music industry, stymied her as she tried to get other work, and so eventually she felt like she had no choice but to return to Sean Combs, and that's why she was so eager to work for him.
I'm curious what Combs' response was hearing this in the courtroom.
He was a really active defendant today. For the whole trial, he's been listening intently, scribbling notes, but on several occasions as Capricorn Clark was testifying, he would whisper into his attorney's ear, and Mark Agnifilo would then jump up to object when Capricorn Clark was trying to make a point. So he clearly did not remember the course of events that she described today the same way that Capricorn Clark did, and it was almost as if he was directing some of the cross-examination.
Aaron Katersky for us there outside the federal court in Manhattan. Thank you so much. And here to dig into the start of week 3 of this trial is ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. You've been in the courtroom almost all of this trial, right? So whose testimony so far do you think has been the most significant?
Well, I think the obvious answer has got to be Cassie Ventura. Cassie Ventura for a number of reasons. One, according to the government, she is victim number 1, and she does describe a lot of the allegations that the government is putting forward against Sean Combs, whether it be the racketeering conspiracy as to how this criminal enterprise operated, the different players. She's named a few of the security guards, for example, D-Rock, Ruben, also the sex workers and dancers who participated in these freak-offs. She's named them all because she participated in hiring them, according to her, because Sean Combs made her do so. And then, of course, just hearing the other details, like Kid Cudi's car being hit with a Molotov cocktail. That's really giving us...
But here's where it gets wild. The trial is still going. It hasn't even hit full speed yet. Meanwhile, the internet is working overtime, digging, scraping, connecting dots, while the people being named, they're walking around like nothing's happening, posting selfies, attending brunch, acting like it's business as usual, but everybody knows it won't last. That house of cards, it's wobbling. Because the one thing the internet never does is forget. And when the public senses that the truth is being hidden from them, oh baby, they go into detective mode. Already, more and more people, ones who've always whispered about Diddy's dark side, are speaking louder, bolder, backed by receipts, by court filings, by the bravery of Cassie and the others. And when those tapes ever go public, it won't just be a scandal, it'll be a reckoning. They won't just shake up Diddy's life. No. We're talking about a potential earthquake across all of Hollywood. People with shiny reputations, million-dollar brand deals, best-selling memoirs could all come crashing down. That's how deep this goes. So for now, Diddy is trying to do damage control desperately. Some say he's playing the mental health card. Others say he's calling in favors from powerful friends, trying to keep things contained. But according to Jaguar Wright, it's already too late. She made it loud and clear. The public has seen too much, heard too much. The old tricks, silence people, distract the media, bury the story under NDAs, aren't working anymore. So what's left? Diddy's courtroom breakdown wasn't just for show. People who were there said he crumbled. Real tears, handshaking, that arrogant image gone. He knew what was playing on that audio. He knew what names were being dragged into the light. And the worst part? We're still only hearing a fraction of what's going on behind those courtroom doors. Because if even half the whispers are true about the parties, the manipulation, the control he held over people, it's no longer just a scandal. It's a network. A system, one built on fear, silence, and unthinkable secret. And now, it's collapsing. The bigger question isn't what's already out there, it's who's next. Is Beyonce going to get dragged in through her ties to Will and Jay-Z? Will T.D. Jakes speak publicly? Will Meek Mill get subpoenaed? Will more assistants and security guards start telling their side? This isn't over, not by a long shot. And judging by how Diddy broke down in that courtroom, crying as his empire cracked and his secrets started spilling out like a busted dam, this is the beginning of something massive. So sit tight, honey, because what's coming next might just shake the entire entertainment industry to its core.